Hello, beautiful Taurus. It is time for your weekly reading. It's going to go from May 21st to the end of the month because I've got other videos I want to get up for you guys also. So I'm going to add a couple of extra days in there. And that's 2021. I don't know what I'm throwing all over, little bits of fluff all over my nice black cloth here. But today I'm going to do a reading with a double deck for you, which is a lot more fun because it gives the cards more opportunities to come up. Sometimes two or more of the same card, which means that their meaning is enhanced. So that's kind of fun. You get a better opportunity to, have those cards come out if they're meant to. Now, because I have this double deck, I have shuffled so much off camera, it's crazy. And then I've combined the two decks and shuffled, because when you're shuffling this many cards, it's, kind of crazy. But it can be done. It's just not as quick as I'd like it to be. But, like I say, these have been well combined because we want to have the most accurate reading humanly possible. Okay. They feel good. So, let's get into it. Let's just pull 9 cards here, or 12 cards rather, and see where we get. Let us see. I would like a very nice, fabulous reading for Taurus. I'm getting these cards way too much lately. Way too much. Fool twice. Okay, let's dive in. These two cards are not great. They seem to be coming up a lot lately for a lot of people. The Tower is also not great. I went through a phase a few months ago where everybody was getting the Tower. Now it seems a little bit more normal, the amount of times we're getting the Tower. So let's dive in with the bad stuff first. So the Tower is all about upheaval in your life. Some of you may be going through a divorce. Maybe you're freaked out about some of the goings on in the world right now. That can affect us, and sometimes the Tower will appear. Everybody got this during the 9/11 situation, the World Trade Center, where it was literally, what's going on in this card was literally happening. Usually this card obviously does not mean that literally people are falling out of buildings. It usually just means upheaval. Excuse me, I have terrible allergies, and I don't take anything for it because I don't want to get tired. And so, as you can hear, I'm sounding very nasal today and trying not to cough constantly. But I do want to get this on the move, so I'm just going to get through it. So, upheaval can mean different things for different people. I mean, some people are very structured. You guys, Taurus, tend to be earthy and about home, family. You guys tend to like a certain amount of structure, so it might take less turmoil to mess up your little plan. So I understand that, but that doesn't mean this isn't important or major in your life. It may be. I don't know what's happening. You'll all have different situations. So this may be the source of your grief. When you're a person who doesn't like everything to be disorganized or in turmoil of any kind, that can cause a lot of grief. And there is some sorrow here. So something has happened. Something is happening. Now, the complication about these kinds of cards is that sometimes these are not things that are happening right now. This can be grief and sorrow that we carry with us. Sometimes it's baggage that we have not let go of something that's already occurred, or in the distant past, something from childhood, something that you carry with you, something that causes incredible grief. So if that's the case, I suggest you try and tackle that. I know it's not easy, but you can do it, and figure out what the source of this is, if there's any debate whatsoever. Usually when it's this level of turmoil, there's no debate about it whatsoever. I often pull this card for clients when they are having a divorce or a breakup. of some kind of love breakup where people are living together. So the whole house is sort of upside down. People are going their separate ways. You know, there are arguments over things. There are arguments over children. There are arguments over basically everything in life as the separation occurs. So it's painful. I mean, this could certainly be about this. If there's something like that going on, it's painful. So I wish you the best with this. And here we've got the Fool twice. So the Fool is about being lighthearted and knowing the universe has your back. Now, if something is up, that is a hard thing to achieve, especially for you guys, because you're quite earthy and not always the most spontaneous of signs. I mean, of course, there are exceptions to everything. But to me, when I see the Fool surrounding this, it's saying, trust that the universe has your back. Try not to panic. Let yourself feel free within, if nowhere else. And let some things go. Just let it go. Don't panic. Try not to do this to yourself and torment yourself. Don't beat yourself up about things that you could have done differently. That's not going to help. Let your mind soar and let go of a lot of the crap that's going to be attached to whatever this is, and try to feel a sense of freedom, and just know that you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. Hang on to that sense of freedom. Sometimes when we go through something like this, that sense of freedom, even though there may be loss, even though there may be fear to the future without the situation you once had, let it go. Just let it go. You're going to be okay. You really, really are. Be careful of situations that can affect your health or your financial status. Sometimes, if this is a breakup of some kind, a divorce or something like that, that can really affect your finances, obviously. So be careful with money. Take good care of yourself, your health. Oh, and also we have the Three of Wands twice. So this is important because this is about reflection and seriously, it took me that long to even notice that. So you want to seriously look at your past, which makes complete sense when there's this level of grief. You want to seriously look at your past and figure out, and this is not to rehash or make you feel bad, but look at the things you've done that have created something good, and look at the things that you've been involved with or done that haven't turned out so well. And learn from that experience. Look to the past, look to the future. The future is very, very bright. Look at this. You've got the Ten of Cups, one of the best cards in the whole deck. This is a beautiful card. Life, is great. You're going to have your family surrounding you. It's going to be very celebratory, passionate, good, full of love and life. So there is this element to you, to your life. This is definitely achievable. Now, this does not always have to be to break up. Sometimes you're in a relationship, and this is your relationship, generally speaking, but something goes wrong. Somebody has a depressive episode where they're not acting right. Somebody has temptations where they're not acting right. It could mean anything, but it could be possible to solve it. It depends on what stage you're at and what your feelings are about all sorts of things. So look at it seriously with the reflection and all of that. Don't desperately try to cling on to something that's a disaster, obviously. Sometimes letting go is the best thing you can possibly do. But you have to weigh out all of the variables to come to the right conclusion. I know that's not easy. I know that's not easy. You might not have to make the decision completely by yourself, because the Wheel of Fortune indicates that something is going to be ruled by fate. Now, I usually find this card to be very lucky. Very, very lucky. But maybe somebody else is the one making the decision. If you have a love partner who's left And that's what's caused the upheaval. Maybe somebody's taken the decision out of your hands. Especially when that is the case, do not beat yourself up. Even if you've made mistakes, okay? Recognize them. Look at it. Face it. You can do this. And you're going to be okay. You've got the Ace of Cups, the beginning of great passion, something loving, something, it could be another love interest. Maybe it's this situation. It could be a passion for something that you're going to do that's fantastic, a new job, a new hobby, a new something. Something's going to come into your life, or you're going to create something in your life. You've got this idea about something you're passionate about. So run with it. Sometimes you feel that, now this is a very typical card for Taurus, because you guys work very hard and you really do throw your all into things, and then sometimes you don't feel you're getting the reward. You're not reaping the harvest you want to. So that's a reasonable feeling, even when you're doing everything right, even when you're working hard, because sometimes things don't happen as quickly as we want. They don't happen as, cataclysmically as we want. Everything isn't, mind-blowing as far as greatness. And sometimes it's slow. Sometimes there's disillusionment. Sometimes there's disappointment in the way things are going. But sometimes that drives us to get to a better ending. And, we can make things happen. So this reading is not the best. I'm not going to lie to you. But it is so entrenched in good stuff also, that I think you can really look to the positive here. And as you go through your week, remember the Fool, because the Fool is telling you to lighten up and to not do this. Do not, if you have to sit around crying, you have to. Sometimes we have to do that to get through things. But if there's any way you can just sort of let yourself feel lighter, let yourself feel that you are protected in the face of all chaos, that you are going to be okay, that gaining your freedom is going to be the best thing that could ever happen to you. Whatever the situation, remember the Fool. Because just say there's something else that gives you sorrow. Whatever the thing is that's giving you heartache, lighten up about it if possible. I know there are situations where that is so difficult, but just remember, it's going to be all for the greater good. There is a reason. It's going to be for the greater good. Everything's going to work out for you. You're going to have all this passion and all this good stuff. Sometimes it's hard to believe it. Sometimes it's hard to imagine that that is going to be the case. Just try to feel lighthearted when possible. Get through whatever this is, and if this does not apply to you, all the better. So, because sometimes we get cards that are for something that seems kind of major at the time, but it's not that bad. It could be some upheaval at work. It could be something with somebody around you. But I'm guessing it's significant enough to, assert itself this strongly in this reading. So don't panic. Think about the Fool. Think about the Ten of Cups. And have a great week. And I will be sending you lots of positive energy. I hope to see you soon. Take care.